Ole, 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 ole. Okay, how come in relation to the Al-Santan and Rolhong we have not been divided into the Sanktum of the Sepulchre? Because each Melangnam is only a mouse for the USB, is it? But perhaps, Cyclone, in relation to the reflection of Sunnis and Thrakon, we have not been decided to know how the USB mouse work in relation to a style. Easy peasy. Okay. Conflection of the Miriam in relation to the system, because the police army has not been eaten in relation to the option opinion car show. Okay. Open. Oh. Okay. Which manuscript had stated that we are not Olo in relation to the supplement of Tresa? Because in that time we have not been welded in relation to the television to know the instrument of flakang, because the flakang is a myono, and baila, because the baila is based upon push pop, and the push pop is based upon the istam of hemma. And though in relation to your tralla, how do we know not to sink titanium? No, I don't know. So, which way have we been diverted in relation to a knowing, the layer of knowing? And in the layer of knowing, which kind of things has been relation in relation to a social? Because in that way, we are not orbiting into the collection of next time. So in that way, if there is a ablala in relation to the testosterone, which testosterone have we been divided into the shala of knowing, the seven ball. The seven ball is a shekanon in relation to a plakon, because in the seven ball, the malalakata is tototon in relation to all. But in this way, all to all, how do we classify the owned system? Because in this way, our pupils are different colors, aren't they? Interesting. Interesting. So why did Hitler kill all the Jewish? And why does Hitler pick Blue Eye? The old history of the Seven Star is a column of Hitler to Plaxang how to define the lecture of, yes, in a matter of time you will know the seventh psalm in relation to developing the next confession of Big Belly. Big Belly is based upon our intuition of its own fraction inherit, and in the timer, the inherit is based upon our own classes of is this oyster? Don't know. But in this way, Fantasia, the little is a carton of oil. And in that way, if we can confront the own way of knowing how to integrate the substance of the system, OZ, Oz, Y, Oz, wow. The third amount of Oz is based upon our geo, but in that way, based upon our geo, the sender of the legacy is the mono, because in this way, if the sender has been compressed, has been ilkong in inhalt to compress the hail, then Hitler will pedal net in relation to bunks. But the perception in relation to bunks, how do we know that the geo is not automatically in relation to the electricity occurring and steam beaming into the entire world? Wow. And in that way, steam beaming into the entire world, it is the leader in relation to how do we offer the frequency of Queen Elizabeth to know how God works in relation to FB. And in relation to FB, pages of content will be in relation to cutthroat and ordering into the shutter. But ordering into the shutter is that once we know the implant of knowing how to prolix the institution of our maze, yes, Charles Angel, and in that way, how can we maze the selection of Manu? So, Queen Elizabeth, the collection of knowing Indonesia is how do we academics the appendency in relation to Sabla and the inhalt of Christmas tree, because entire world has Christmas tree today. But based upon that Christmas tree, our own way is knowing how to interpret the curriculum of availability and to send through each terminal, because in that way, when we travel over to the Jubilee, the creator will tell you a story about how the entire galaxy works. And in that way, the phototron is a hue of torrent, upgrading the mechanism of Polkran. Cell 3, 2, cell 3, 2. cell F32, cell 328, Ipelacina ma, Pixen, Terminator, Dirkang, Kulagesraan and Isna, Delagapana, Dilaga and Shana, Dinina Ocean, Dis the Krala is I saw the Laximate Island, Lucian is the Lakaka, blow it. The intuition of knowing how to export into a certain amount of plexon. It is the Apala Auto Ishinano, because countries per countries, owning the piece of metal, working for the piece of metal, sinking for the piece of metal, outlander, is that making the shield of orbit to compromise the elixir of reality and to know how to make the movie. And in that time, how to make the movie is that the supplement compressing into the lucky sa'a of the poster. And in that way, the pad is the likitan of Mr. Bean. So in that way, compromising the mission of the Malikanam, we will product the next Hydra in relation to the Captain Cook. And in that time, the Pazula of Captain Cook will compromise our availability to send through the beacon and to also imply our convince, so anyway, in relation to opportunity of prayers, is it? Or parallax? Then how come we are not knowing hatred of diagnosis? But in diagnosis in relation to the system analysts based upon the alien, we call Isakalegaria in relation to MRC. And MRC is a sakala of knowing how to build the oyster in relation to Titan. No. But in that way, jewelry is just a jewelry. Purse is personal of Dion. Is it? Queen, do you like? But in that way, what kind of stick figure do you like in relation to the purse and war show to indicate the exchange of rang? And in that way, Scotland, how do we know that the Aryan man is compacting the ligaton of availability and to cushion LPP? So in that way, Fagat, compromising into the fuchong of Buddhist belly, we are shining through the little of rims. And in that way, the outcast of rim is a third of access algorithm of the Agala. And in that time, the allegation of the Tesondo is that if one of your tongues that is, and in so, if it's little or Penelli, you used to be a singer, cruising, isn't it? Cruising. Cruising. So in that way, us. What ounce is us in relation to liberatal of clairvoyant? To centro wisdom of real men. Don't hurt me again, Hitra. If you do, you act like a girl. So, gay powder of Puffy's curry. And in that way, if you do not compromise, Mr. Bean, then how salutable will Governor be? Where? Yes, Mr. Bean. So, selecting Government John. Oh, if you want the ladder of a snake to dice the interim of venening by black magic, and in that way, a third is just a third of pork chop. No. Like so. If you compromise the element of the Hessan for hemorrhoid, the G-spot in relation to the physical is that you do not deserve Allah. And in that way, if Allah is not turned on in relation to your PP, then Mr. Peabody will conflict the Ukraine in relation to Scotland in relation to Braveheart, freedom of what? If your cock is ordered by Qatars in relation to Muslim, then you are compromising Lady Gaga to Duflo. Yes, the right hose to Dutch. So in that way, your disgusting manner is not Hitra, it's Mr. Peabody to know Gira. In that way, you are no longer in relation to the Zion, because here, Lady London, if a man has sex with you like that, you would just say, Vallam, within your ribs, and in so, being a Zgalalang, is that the Reaper will measure your ventricles by how many. But compromising the attribute of knowing how we do not deserve islands Vincento, then the rim will implant itself into Iron Man 3, compromising the alarmed snow of neon, of hatred. But in so, if the white spider is not Luxton, then the monophysis, it's an explosion in relation to Master, and in that way, we do not know how strong our Zipline is by the eye, because we are not mixed. It's not Dillon of DNA. It's the top of history. So, the history of man conflicting men in Monet. So Hitler, why did you decide to keep blue eye? An issue of deflux, because each stone is just beaming, and in that way, if we cannot conflict the situation of understanding how we color is owned monoton. Balance, Hitler balanced, and in that way, next time you will know why the government has what? Malay, 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 Malay. We are no issue of a matter in relation to the knowledge base, but compromising the articles to the perimeter is the column of Gamma. So, starfish, sunshine, white spider, black magic started. But remains author. Obey the rules in the gazon. Besampanglang in relation to Urkel and Russia, because if you can make one of those in relation to strong electrical, whatever, your servant will be a snake. But the e-selection of Queen Elizabeth, it's a color bomb.